the anti-Muslim feeling is pretty strong over here.
Yeah, and I tell you what,
Oh,
I
what just
actually
happened?
I have feelings about that myself, which I'm not gonna go into that because I'm streaming right now, and the
Yeah,
debate about politics is fine.
have I just crashed?
Oh, you said you
Both
went
my
into
mo-
something. You
Yeah,
went
both my
into
monitors have
blacked out.
yeah, got
Ah,
turned off, no signal.
weird.
But I've obviously not reset, and I
No,
can
because I
still
can.
hear sounds.
Yeah, I can still chat with you. Maybe you need to though.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I'm all good. I mean, it's only like 6
Where's my
o'clock for
mouse?
me, and I enjoy just spending time in this game. It's pretty and silly.
I'm enjoying the sound of that rain. I wish we had some. It's
Bloody warm, is it?
I've got to admit Scotland to be this warm. They'd have moved us 5,000 miles south and called us Spain. I know
Well,
this is not right for a Scottish summer. Where's
It's-
the rain? Where is the constant rain?
it's funny because I've actually got the windows curtains drawn because if I have them open, I'm south facing, and
Yeah.
I just can't see anything in this room. I'm blind, and I've got a window air conditioner. It's not on right now, but it goes on and off as I need it because with two computers and the MacBook sometimes running and blah blah blah, it gets pretty warm in this little room.
Yeah, I can
But it's
imagine.
a different kind of thing. We expect it to be fucking warm in the summer sometimes.
Oh, go away, GTA. You are drunk. Yep. So I've crashed.
Oh.
I shall be back eventually.
Roger
possibly.
that. Good luck.
Let me just clear the process and start again.
If you can get into my session for the crate drop, I'm going to try and get a helicopter for that.
Oh well, that should be pretty soon. I mean, I don't know how long game time is to normal time, but 5 hours, 20 minutes, half an
I
hour.
think it's 3 seconds per minute. Something like that.
So I guess when I could still hear the game, the sound of the game, it was just coming from you. It wasn't actually me.
Well, I got headphones on, so it
Okay.
shouldn't be transmitting anything.
Alright, well I'm hearing beeping. So I thought that was something reversing.
Huh. Maybe the game's still kind of running.
No, I cleared the process.
Ah, right.
I had the beeping stop, mate. I don't know. Were you reversing? I mean, I'm not trying to say you're
Nope.
fat or anything, but
You can call me as fat as you want, mate. It's not going to make me think I am.
I actually came into the living room one day and found my son going in circles, just going backwards, going beep, 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 beep. I said, "What are you doing, son?" He says, "Reversing."
Fair enough. He's trying to
He
walk
just
you.
did. Yeah, just did that for 10 minutes.
That's all right.
Kids.
Yeah, it's good when they learn plenty of ways to entertain themselves. It's better than shove them in front of a Disney movie for 2 hours. That'll shut them up. Oh, I'll just let them run around in circles backwards, making beeping noises. It's just,
Yeah, we need to get him back to that. He's far too much time on his tablet watching Minecraft movies just now. He's at the stage where it's too much. It's overstimulating him.
yeah, I've
so
got to watch
excited.
myself a bit like that. Even adults, right? We don't know how to manage ourselves properly sometimes. And I've got so many games I want to try and play and this kind of thing, but I want to do something productive with it, and that's the trouble. It's like
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of like that now as well. Like, I feel really guilty about sitting down and just playing for 2 hours. You know.
I don't feel too guilty because I think about. I mean, I still do suffer basically from quite bad depression on and off, and I like that. If I'm doing something like this, I'm awake and I'm thinking and I'm alive and I'm not like lying in bed miserable. But on the other hand, I do feel guilty that I think I should be able to do more than this. If I were to turn what I do in games more into an experience that I share with people, like write about and that kind of stuff, then even if I'm not making any money from that, it feels like I'm doing something productive because maybe I'm helping other people. I'm affecting, something in the world beyond my little room, so to speak.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, I like something like this as well because it does give me a sense that I'm doing something with other people, but it's not the same as having some kind of semi-permanent record of things and producing something. So like I've started making a hand-drawn version of the GTA logo using Art Rage in my tablet, but I've got to sort of make that, just kind of finished it off before it's worth putting on the blog or anything. But that kind of thing is the kind of thing that going past the helicopter. That feels like, well, then I've done something with my abilities, not just played a video game. Don't do enough of that.
No, totally. I don't kind of feel like that, but then that's because I learned a long time ago that I'm not really all that talented at the expression side of things.
Well, that's what I used to think, but of myself, I mean. But one of the things with that is I started just trying stuff, and then I guess I managed to tell myself that some of the things I do aren't actually that bad, and then that allowed me to put more time and effort into it. But it's the things that I've spent time just doing and not thinking too hard about if I'm good at it or not, because I enjoy them. Inbound special crate.
Oh no!
So,
I'm trying to join your game. It's not letting me. Yeah, I try and sort of. I do have these creative urges, but I end up just trying to express them through work. So I build a database. I don't know if I told you about that. I build a database that's used by the telephony teams for the energy company I work for. So it's all the sales scripts.
all right.
So that's the system that they use. I built. It's very basic because they haven't actually spent any money on it.
On the other hand, you can feel that, like, when that's definitely sort of productive. You could see and feel like other people were using your stuff.
So
they couldn't do a lot of things without it.
I try and put my creative urges into that. Yeah, I totally cannot join your game. I'm not even getting the little arrow next to you.
It's weird. It seems like you're in my game.
Oh.
Sort of.
Oh, so I am. That'll be why I can't join your game then. Maybe I should have looked to that.
Someone sent me a friend request. I don't really think I want that, to be honest.
Right. Where is that?
CZ, I think, is Poland, so I'm going to give that a miss.
Oh, there he is. Where is he?
I'm coming to pick you up if you want to get that crate.
Yeah, I see. Is the crate on the map yet?
Yep. I've got it marked, I think.
Oh, you're right of me. Alright, cool. Yeah, so we just reached version 3. Well, the system is on version 3, but we just released 14. So, version 3.14.
Ah, yeah.
So of course we put a pie.
Nice.
But not just. It was a pie with a pie symbol on it, which is great.
That is.
I was
super.
Really disappointed that of the 600 users I bought, only 2 people asked me what it was for.
Aww.
So I don't know if it means that everyone understands and gets the joke, or if they're all too stupid.
I guess there's probably some in either direction. Some people get it and didn't need to ask.
Yeah.
Some people didn't get it and didn't want to ask, and then there were 2 people who didn't get it and were brave enough to ask.
Yeah. Oh,
those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So,
however, if I were to bail out, you can fly it.
Oh right. Yeah, don't do that.
No. Oh, I won't, because then it'd be a bit of an issue.
So we've
Oh, is it
moved up a
gone?
version. We're on
No.
we're on three. No, I've not seen the marker. No one's got it yet. We're on 315 now. So obviously next one's 316. So we're going to do a Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was going to get a table full of Steve Austin quotes, and just put a picture of his head on the main screen.
I think we lost it, by the way.
Yeah, I can't see it on the map, but I
Someone
didn't see
else
it
got
pop up.
I am listening, but just trying to get you a crate, but I think someone else has taken it. Yeah, it must be. There's a bunch of people hanging around there.
Dialogue. Nah, notifications.
Missiles.
Ah, yeah, that
Homing.
Venkata. It's that guy I killed earlier on. He picked it
Venkata.
up.
Huh.
Yeah, so he's going to have the minigun.
Oh, that's not a big issue.
Not against this, no. I can hear the minigun firing though. He's got some copper friends down there by the looks. Oh, he's dead. Oh, somebody's got a lock.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody doesn't like that. Oh, Ben Carter, that guy, right.
So that guy's 2 helicopters of yours he's killed. Right, let's get him.
Mm-hmm. Nice thing is, I don't care how many times he blows them up. It's $200 a piece. It's the best fucking value of helicopters I've ever seen. Sure, it costs you 1.95 million to buy it in the first place, but then they replace it every time for a couple $100. No wonder it's so expensive in the first place. I can't jump up this cliff.
Damn it.
Oh, there we go.
Disappeared behind some trees before I could shoot him.
There he is. Oh, we're moving.
Oh, shot the wrong cop car.
I am getting my
He has just driven into the water, the
dipshit.
bonehead.
I'm getting my Karuma delivered.
Oh shit, a star. Bastard. Whoa. Oh, that'll be the firework launcher and not the rocket launcher.
Did you just try and shoot him with the fucking firework?
I killed him with the firework.
Oh, sweet! I didn't even know you could do that. I mean, yeah, they set things on fire, but still. Fire ass.
Oh
Oh.
dear. Shot by cops. Clear out my wallet just in case I've got any money.
That's the point, forgot about that. Don't think I have though, it's pretty. Oh yeah, $2 grand, that's good.
Oh, somebody coming up behind you.
Yeah, I'm on someone's bike now.
Oh, he's trying to creep up on me.
I can't get my personal vehicle, so I'll order a Pegasus one.
Yeah, I'm going to give Lester a phone and disappear.
Good idea. At least it's like fun once this happens, because everybody's sort of hanging around a similar area. I just love it how it's $200 no matter what. So it's $200 for a Sea Shark or $200 for a helicopter. Right, about a mile off my helicopter.
Oh, is that somebody got noose? Oh no, FIB. Hold on.
Yep.
That's a phone call.
No worries.
it's my
Sound like that was
son's
son.
mum having trouble getting my son to sleep.
Yeah. No worries, man. Yeah.
Not much I can do on the phone, but
No. Meanwhile, yeah, so you say what you can, right? I mean, it's tricky,
Yeah.
but.
But he has just been a wee shite, to be honest. And this is just part of the phase he's going through. He's been really difficult.
Well, that's kids for you, I mean, you got to work with them, and
Oh. You know, I couldn't see you because I'm in passive and you're invisible. Getting in the back this time so I can see
Yeah.
people. No, I don't want in that car. I want in the helicopter.
But yeah, I can certainly understand. I mean, you know, Joe and I don't have kids probably. Well, no, almost certainly. But my sister has kids, and when I want to Skype with her, for instance, I have to think about timing a bit, because if it's getting around their bedtime, they'll get really they'll play up because I'm talking with Josephine and them as well, and I've got to think about stuff like that. And it's nice to talk to them, but at least they understand a bit better now how difficult it would be to come visit, or the other way around, for me to visit them. Because when they were younger, it was just like, oh, we'll come see you tomorrow. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wish.
it's a bit hard for kids to understand the concept of distance.
Yeah, and time and
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Poor kids.
I mean, how often have you been back home?
Not super often, and the last time was for my mum's funeral. So that was like at least 7 years ago.
Yeah, it must be, because I can remember you talking about that.
Because I haven't been back since my sister's kids were born.
Mhm.
They've never met me. Josephine and my dad and her husband, but sister's husband, came over to visit. 2007, yeah, and that's the last time I've actually seen him. Josephine was pregnant with Poppy at the time. So yeah, but I've talked to Poppy especially a lot on Skype, and it's really cool. I mean, I think she's just a little bit younger than your son. She's just turned 7, I think. But she's really quite, she's quite smart, and she seems to get the concept of distance fairly well by now.
Yeah.
But it's still, kids. They have their days when it's like, oh dear, I think I'll just keep this one short and wish Josephine good luck.
Yeah. No, it's one thing. My mum's really helped my mum, even though I'm only like 60 miles up the road. Being able to Skype has really helped her.
Yeah,
she really
I
likes
can
being
imagine.
able to just see me instead of just hearing me on the phone.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
one thing when people talked about. Might be another helicopter here. Hopefully. It's one thing when people talked about video phones. You wouldn't want to always have to be having video on the phone. No, this is true, but the option to have video is a huge quote unquote game changer, so to speak. It's
Totally.
especially for kids. Especially when they've grown up, sort of.
Hold on, cargo Bob.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to drop you by it, but it's all good.
That's all right. No need to land.
Oh, it's...
here comes my cat. What are you wanting, cat?
Oh, you have a cat? I didn't know that.
Yeah, my sister got a cat a few years ago. What they didn't realise was that she got Ribbon while Ribbon was still pretty much a kitten. But she was pregnant by the time Jacqueline got her. So Ribbon had a litter a few weeks after she got her. She's still a very young cat, but all of a sudden Jack went from having one cat to having 7.
Yeah.
So I'd always wanted a cat, and I kept putting it off, just because
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
They charge ridiculous amounts of money just for a kitten.
Oh
But
yeah,
Jack gave all their kittens away. You know, as long as she knew the people.
Yeah, that's it, right? I mean,
they
you
all
want
went to
good
family.
homes, but then at that point, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, you
I
don't want to
think
give
when
people
we
a
were
kitten when they're
kids,
just
we
going
always
to
had
treat
cats,
them
but we
bad.
picked them up from farms and stuff, where, yeah, I don't think they were charging. It was just as long as it's a good home.
Well, I remember going into the pet shop and it was just basically a cage stuffed full of kittens.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that.
We picked out 2. Well, it's never illegal.
It is good, I
Yeah,
guess.
so the only way to get cats is as a kitten is from people you know who are having litters or buying a pedigree cat.
Because I know in Canada you can still do that. I mean, there are still places where you can see kittens in cages, and I just think, when I was a kid, they were always outdoor cats. So for so long, when I came to Canada and we had cats, and they were indoor cats because we couldn't let them out in cities, they'd die. They'd get run over and they'd be dead. Like where we live, in every place we've lived, the other one was when we lived in the high rise, like 33rd floor.
Well, I'm only 2 floors up. I've got a secure entry, so I can't even come outside and go out.
Well, it took me a long time, but at this point I've gotten used to the idea that the cats are better off indoors and that they have a good life. They don't.
Even better than a cargo bob.
Is there
There's one with guns. Is that the one with guns?
Yeah, pretty much.
The Blizzard? Cool, let's go shoot things.
I think anything with that, yeah, exactly. Anything with that livery is going to have some guns, I think. So I've got my targeting set to strangers. Attackers, everyone. Strangers, yeah, keep it as strangers, I think.
Strangers, yeah.
Stranger danger! Not too much. That's what they should be saying. I don't know this guy, they're going to blow me up, aren't they?
But then I really don't know how to target in these things. That's why I rely on missiles whenever I'm in a helicopter, because I can't use the cannons.
Yeah, even with... I find it pretty...
I'm a truck.
Do you have to blow the doors off that, right?
Yeah.
I only said to blow the bloody doors off. He says it vaporizes an armoured truck.
Oh, hold on, is that it right below us? I think. Yep, that was it.
I believe it probably will have given me... That gave me 3 stars and that was close.
Yeah.
So if you want to go collect the cash...
that's what I was going to say. Did you get the cash?
I don't... No, I'm way up in the air, right? You have to actually collect it from the back.
So
I'll dodge the cops and you collect the cash.
Oh, I landed far too close to that armoured truck. No, there's no cash.
Oh. Huh.
You did blow the whole damn thing up, mind.
Oh, well, there we go. Next time I know, I'd only blow the bloody doors off.
There's a dead guy in the front.
Well, I did hit it with 4 missiles, I think.
Potentially overkill.
There's even a... Is that the one with only cannons, you say?
Yeah.
Because there's one here that's got the missiles.
Oh, sweet.
The Annihilator, I think. Is it Buzzard? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Bungie probably bought a Buzzard.
Oh! That's the first time I've touched a police car and not got a... Did you see me that I actually parachuted out and landed on the police car?
Oh no, I thought you died because I didn't look at the thing. I saw the explosion and assumed you had just had a bad control.
No, I jumped out.
As
I went to land, I hit the damn police car. Luckily enough, didn't get a star. Right. Oh, I see a dude.
Yeah. Oh, fuckers. Yeah. Oh, that's a friend of mine. Vaguely speaking. Feel free to let them jump in. They won't be a dick.
Oh,
they said they have really bad frame rates, so they can't win races. So I did a few of those prison things with them. I think at some point they were a member of Rock Paper Shotgun.
Oh, he left.
That's fine.
You scared him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Oh, he just went offline as well. Apparently. Don't know him all that well. I don't know who he is really, or she potentially. I suppose. I think it's a he.
I see a player in a helicopter.
That's certainly asking for trouble. You can do an impromptu race.
Can you do a race in a helicopter?
Oh yeah, you can do an impromptu race in anything.
Really?
Yeah. You just have to set a waypoint. Oops, that's not going to help. Waypoints set on map, so then you do start, you set a waypoint. What the hell is that red? Is that the... I don't know. So where's this guy in the helicopter? Oh well. I'm going to set a destination there. And then... List of players in range. No players in range. Apparently you're too far away from me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, I kept flying. I was going
That's
to
alright.
that other player helicopter.
You do that. I'm going to chase after you. But yeah, it would let you set up an impromptu race in any situation.
Well, he's
As long as
changed
you're
it
in
to
free
jet.
mode.
That could be problematic.
That could be hilarious if he thinks we're going to let him just
Yeah, let's
get
climb
away with
high.
that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll do that as well. And I'll stay a little bit over here for now. And then if you tell me which direction he's starting to head in, and I'll try and cut him off and between us.
Well, it looks like he's coming straight for me.
Oh, okay then. Right, I'll head straight for you as well.
Oh no, he's turned around. So he's flying. He's not got one of them VTOLs, has he? I don't know.
I don't see the jet marker on the map yet. Oh, yeah, I do now. Okay.
Oh, he's at the airport. That's why. Right, okay.
Okay, I'll hold here for a second. I'll sip a coffee and quick drink.
Is he just flying about over the airport, or...?
It's funny because some people I know don't like. Well, one guy I know doesn't like randomly attacking people in games, and I'm like, I get it, but it's a bit overly role playing to be a nice person all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I generally don't, but
yeah,
you know,
but on the other hand, it's just a game. I mean, you
Yeah.
can say that about life in the end, but no, I mean, it's just a game. If people are going to get all upset about that, then maybe they should be playing in solo mode. It's the easiest way to avoid hackers, that's for sure. I mean,
I think I've
don't.
lost him.
yeah.
Still a blob on the airport, but I don't see anything in the air.
What was that? Oh, the car. Oh, there's only 3 of us in here.
Who?
Yeah.
That other guy is the guy at the airport. So
Yeah.
maybe he's sitting in an aircraft waiting for us.
Doesn't look like it. He seems to be fairly static. I'm going to drop down beside him and see if it scares him.
Where am I? Well, I'm nowhere near you. I am up way high. See, this is just like those nights when you're desperate for a bit of PvP and you go rampaging around forest systems and you see 7 guys in stations.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, hey, somebody's got a lock
It
on.
uses a burger,
Yeah.
which I can do at any
Anytime.
time.
Okay.
But I just want to know because mine takes a bit longer to cook the sausages. So.
Oh, it's me that's got a lock on. What a dick. Have you just been shot again?
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Joe was just asking about stuff. I can. You can do fries with it.
I can do fries.
I guess I would like that, but I don't want you to be all melty. Yeah, if we want to, I'm just thinking while I'm talking to Joe, if we want to cause carnage, maybe I should try and find another session.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly look. for that. Find new session, go, and then you can try joining me. And I'm talking to Joe still. Yep. Were you ready? You ready for your server?
Well.
When are you thinking for yours?
Well.
The hell, Tenzing?
Ready for my supper. I mean, it's just, mine simply about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to check, because if you
want to eat with you.
yeah.
Well, we've got Mock the Week, right?
Yeah.
Well, probably should watch that with you then. So, I don't know, what about 7:30? I don't know, I mean, it's weekend for Jamie, but on the other hand, I don't want to presume he's going to be staying up till 3 in the morning.
Oh, I do have a swimming trip tomorrow to organise.
It's a special crate job at house.
Yep, well spotted. Yeah, in fact, just as Joe said, there is a special crate drop in this in 10 hours, so I will order a helicopter again if you want to try joining me. How many people we got in here?
No.
Wait.
We've got 6 people. An improvement, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know, I've just been babbling away. If you want to do something more specific, like... We had
I'm alright, actually, I'm quite happy just pottering about.
Yeah, I can do that for ages.
Yeah. Pottering about, seeing what happens. And
there's always a few stunt jumps to try and do as well, or messing around. Or a laugh. Take us this vehicle.
what car shall I take today? Let's take the Dominator back out.
Oh, that's the point. Here's my garage. Let's sell something shitty. Shitty stuff have I got? I don't want. What's this thing? Oh, it's another sports. Yeah, I don't need 3 sports cars. Workshop.
Yep, take a wee trip to the mod shop myself. Oh, in fact, we're going to the same one.
The classic Los Santos customs. What can the best mechanic in Los Santos do for you? Take this piece of shit off my hands. Give me some money. Sell for 3.5 grand. Yeah. I'm sure I am. Don't need the slot.
Got the brakes. 11 grand for a new engine. Well, I'll take that.
That's the top one's like 35 or 50 or something. You can easily blow a ton of money on upgrades if you really want. Mechanic.
Oh, 42 grand for a turbo.
Yeah. Oh, still.
Yeah, not right now. Not right now.
Still a bit cheaper than what I've been paying. I think 50 grand for turbos on most of my things.
Oh.
Yeah. Like that, I'm sure that bike, it was like I say 750 plus probably 350 upgrades.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't help that I made it chrome. Oops,
Oh,
sorry, mate.
beef injection.
Yeah, but I don't actually
they're a
want
bit
it.
terrible.
Yeah, I tried it for a while. Thought, it's fun, but
Mm.
it looked kind of like a Beetle designed for off-road. But
I'm going to start a mission, and hopefully I won't crash this time.
ooh, I hope I'm allowed to sell
Please
this.
wait.
It's worth
Accepting this
26
invitation
grand.
is taking longer than usual.
Nice. I can sell these vehicles I don't want. I thought you could only sell a certain number in a certain amount of time, but I guess that's if you don't own them in the first place. Like if you steal them, you can only sell one every 45 minutes game time. No, real time. I think 45 minutes. Makes more sense. But I can get a bunch of cash by selling a bunch of shit. Oh, but if you sent me an invite, I should accept that. Not
Well,
yet, okay.
apparently accepting the invitation is taking longer than usual. Again, I'm having trouble
I'll try and
accepting
call
this, starting this mission. Yeah, for some reason. Oh, it's working this time.
Okay. Okay.
What have we got?
Seems appropriate considering your tag.
Hmm.
Grab your balls, mate. Sorry, that's not even vaguely. That's just sort of in the direction. Yeah, it's sort of vaguely in the direction of something which might sound like Scottish if you had no idea what Scottish sounded like at all.
Right, grab your balls.
I said, I'll leave the Scottish impressions up to you. I wish the bloody Americans would leave the English impressions up to me. They sound so weird when they try to do an English accent. It's bizarre. I mean, some Americans do know what they're doing, of course, especially some actors, but oof. If we think different of British people about it doing different accents, oh my goodness. Americans, when they try to do a British accent, they always go for this weird thing that's just... I've never heard any English person speak like that.
Although, you know, what was it? It was the last X film, Days of
Which
Future
one,
Past.
sorry? Oh yeah.
The last, and Peter Dinklage was in it, and all the way through, all I could think of was Dinklage, man, your American accent's rubbish.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know he's American, and I know his English accent is terrible.
Well, actually,
so.
I don't know. I just like him a lot as an actor. I mean, it's funny as well. I've seen him with his wife, and you know, she's normal size and everything. I feel so glad. A bit like the way that things have changed somewhat, at least for gay people. Is the fact that a dwarf can be now a successful actor, and that people, okay, he's still limited in some roles that he can play, but he's being hired for roles just because he's a good actor, and then they find a way to make it a dwarf character. I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's a small campaign to see if the Silva could be the next Bond, which I think would be pretty
amazing.
Awesome, but I don't think Dinklage. Yeah, I don't think Dinklage would make it.
Yeah, but it would be amazing. Okay, we've got to kill all these people, right? Yeah. See, that's the thing. It would be slightly funny in some places, but mostly it would just be awesome. I mean, there's no reason it couldn't be. I don't see why it couldn't be Jane Bond, really, but just don't change it. Just James. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be a big thing either. Just do it. In fact, the more of a big thing you make of it, the more people are going to think it's weird. Like,
although the thing is that they couldn't do Jane Bond because of all the shagging. Because
she would be a slut then, wouldn't she?
Yeah, and women are obviously not allowed to have sex without being sluts.
Yeah, That's definitely an issue still.
Yeah.
One more of these guys. I like tried to shoot him and you stood slightly in the way.
Yep. Oh, car coming in.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the truck. But yeah, so what was it recently? They're redoing some film with women, and people. Oh, Ghostbusters, right?
Oh yeah,
And people
the
were just
furore over that was pathetic. Actually.
yeah. It's like, do they really need to remake Ghostbusters? No, but if they're gonna remake it, what's the problem in reimagining it?
Well, that's the thing. It's far more interesting being for women.
Yeah. I mean, there's no big issue, like it's going to break the plot or some stupid bullshit. I just watched a really, really good TED Talk this morning, actually, about the first women in the US forces that fought, like, quote-unquote, on the front lines, and actually they were recruited specifically before it was technically legalized for women to fight on the front lines.
Okay.
And in a special operation, or a special elite team, basically, that would go. They needed women to go out with elite rangers and stuff because of the cultural situation. Men couldn't do some things that women would be able to do.
Right. Okay.
And so there was this elite group that was in 2011. That's how recent it was. And it was amazing, just amazing, because it really. These women
I
were
shot
women.
at those guys just because I wanted to shoot at something. It turns out they're bad guys.
That's convenient.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, but
Yeah,
it's just amazing because it's not like you imagine. These aren't sort of feminist women in any way, like, but they are, of course, because they're doing something historic for women. But they're not doing it in a way just deliberately to be historic. They're doing it for themselves, and they're doing it.
Yeah, they'll do it because they're soldiers.
Exactly, and they're proud to be soldiers. And as far as that goes, for anyone to be proud to be soldiers, I think shouldn't be any different for women. And these women are certainly tougher than me. I couldn't do what these women have to do to get into that training program, just against the training program. I mean, there was I stopped it on the poster, the recruitment poster, which only obviously went round the armed forces in the first place. And it was just like, it had to become non-secret when one of the women was killed. And there was a huge, like, ceremony and stuff, as you would hope.
Yeah.
And that changed things in general. But it's good to see that because of sometimes of necessity, things change, and in the right directions. Even if it is like, oh well, should we really be at war? Well, maybe we shouldn't. But whatever we are, that country is.
Oh man!
Oh shit! Well,
I got shotted.
I can keep going.
Keep going.
Yep. Holding down the accelerator like it makes a difference. I guess you can just grab something and try and kill the people around.
Yeah, I'll get that.
But yeah, it was really just fascinating to watch. Because it was like, they were talking. The woman giving the talk was a journalist, but she was talking about how these women were just ordinary women, and also soldiers. They come back and they do female things in a way, like they bake cookies and they put on, they bond over makeup and stuff like this. And not all of them, of course, but many of them.
But
they
not,
look
just
like
because
women.
Soldiers doesn't mean they're the big bitch lesbians.
Exactly, and yeah, it doesn't mean they're not tough as fuck. Like I saw a few pictures, and it looks like this weird cross between Heidi and Ripley. And it is both sweet in a genuinely sweet sense, cute but more so sweet, and also awesome. Like some of these women, they look like as tough as any bloke easily. It's so cool. Ooh, good
grand.
money. Yeah, let's do some more of that if you got time.
Yeah, I mean that whole thing of how women can't be tough. I mean,
yeah, I
they
mean,
obviously never met my granny.
yeah, that's it. They've certainly never met some real women, right? I mean, shit. Yes. Well, that made me laugh when. Anything here you want to try?
I've done them all.
I have not done turbine carbine
Oh,
or
sorry.
San Andreas. Oh no, that's right. I didn't give it down. I think you've done.
I
those.
just
Oh,
assumed
these are
you'd
all
done
2RP
everything,
anyway.
Yes, I haven't done any of these apart from the parachuting one.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I've done Swedish folk race and the parachute.
I haven't done the parachute, siege mentality. I've done. Oh, is that survival? No, deathmatch.
Quick.
Oh, have you done Swedish folk race?
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay. I have no idea what this is going to be like because it's a homemade job, so to speak. Quality on these is always a bit.
Yeah. I keep meaning to spend some more time in the creator.
Yeah, I keep thinking about that.
Need to explore the map a bit more and get to know
Is
the
there
map,
some way-
especially for races.
Oh yeah, that's very true. I keep thinking it would be amazing to make some like races that are genuinely designed to be good, so that they get popular, but not because you want them to be popular, but because they're good. You know, the way that good stuff just spreads sometimes in situations
Yeah.
like this.
Oh, let's just do one lap out of this. Look at that map. That looks awful.
Ooh. Ew.
Is this?
Maybe not too bad, but sedans.
Yeah, that was fixed. Couldn't change that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that in the race I made. You could choose stuff. I made everything available.
Oh my.
Ugh.
Oh, there's two of them. Okay.
Ugh. Right. Well, let's have a bit of fun with this, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell you what. Let's give you another win. I'm gonna bet 100 on myself, and then I'm ready.
Oh, 10 grand. There we go.
Yeah.
I think one lap might have been the right choice in these cars.
Mm-hmm. No, it might be all right, but I'm going to presume it's not. Yeah. I might have taken some screenshots. Yeah. What I decided is I think I should be going back. I go forwards through my screenshots for Flickr. I should go backwards through them and just pick a few really good ones to put on Steam. Because it's just a different sort of thing. I mean, Flickr I use a bit like as if it was photographs. Where people don't necessarily put up stuff that's amazing, but they put up stuff that's for them. Whereas Steam, it's not so much space, and Flickr's unlimited, so
Yeah.
I've got 55,000 things, screenshots uploaded to Flickr so far.
So I tend to use Facebook as a photo dump.
Is that unlimited?
Yeah, but you know, it's that thing where you end up with loads of photos that are for family, but friends can see it, and then people you meet in work can see them and all that stuff. You know. And
I mean, I pay for a Flickr Pro account, so it's like $30-something a year, I think. But I saw Rob was using Flickr for some screenshots, and I just thought, well, I can integrate that with Lightroom, which I use for managing my screenshots. Might as well do that. But it's more of a mass thing with Flickr. Whereas Steam, I want to go through, find some like funny shots or classy shots that really show off what a game is like in one shot, in a sense, or something that demands a caption.
Oh, ow. That's a corner.
I've heard about those. We don't have many of them over here, but there's one or two. Well, I suppose there are corners, there's just not many curves. 90-degree stuff. Toronto, considering we have a grid layout though, is pretty stupidly designed. I guess they built it more in the 60s when there were still a whole ton less cars, but the thing is, like Montreal, there were the main roads that go in certain directions, and then oops, that's not the finish. And then you had like side roads that were one way, and then each side road, the next one would go the other way, and they would go pretty much all the way across the city without breaks. Whereas Toronto is divided up more into sort of sections, and there are the main roads that go across the city and up and down the city, and then there are all these small roads that go only within the sections, and they literally deliberately say does not go to the next main big thing, whatever. And that might have been fine when like the city was growing hugely at that time when the roads were being built more in the 60s, but fuck, now it's just ridiculous.
I've done jet lag and criminal records.
I've not done the city commute.
Try that one.
Sure. At least that's a Rockstar thing.
Yeah, Perth is definitely not built for the amount of traffic it has. That doesn't help. It's a commuter town now, so you've got.
Oh yeah, Toronto is there. Yeah. People will commute in from 2.5 hours out on the train each way.
Oh God, no! Oh God,
yeah,
Christ, no, Jesus.
Yeah, every day. Sometimes it's even more than that. 3 hours sometimes.
Just absolutely no.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, even going up to my uni sometimes takes an hour, and that's like 4 or 5 stops on the subway and a dedicated bus lane.
No,
and
man,
it's not very far. And it's funny because where we've got we're on one of these big east-west roads, and it's the last one that kind of runs. It's like the where the real city sort of doesn't stop, but it turns from downtown to midtown, I guess, and then uptown is even further north for the most part. But basically, my point is, there's a really busy road, and there's a major bus route that runs along it, and then right near where we are, it connects to a kind of highway that runs in and out of the city, but stops at this road, north-south. It's because it was supposed to go all the way down into the city, but when they were building it, there was too much, like, oh, we don't want too many cars coming into the city, we're not letting you build it through here. So it stopped in like the 60s and just stops here. So you go from a road that's got 3 lanes and an 80 kilometer an hour limit to a road that's got 2 lanes in each direction, but has loads of turnings on and off and stop lights and stuff. It's not like a highway, and it's got a 50 limit. And on top of that,
it's going to bunch people up right enough.
I'm sorry?
That's going to bunch people up. Really slow things down.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, right now, they are trying to improve public transport, which is good, but that means that they're building a crosstown like subway sort of thing, like that goes along underneath our street. Oops, wrong way. And that means that, especially because there's going to be a stop, like a subway station, there already is one almost where we are, right where that highway meets our street, and that's where this new subway stop's going to be too, for the other one going the other direction. So there's tons and tons of roadworks, so it's often down to 1 lane in one direction at a time, coming right off this highway, and you can see buses. You know how that phenomenon you heard about, like you wait for a bus and then 3 come along at once?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen that a lot in the city, and it's both here and in Montreal when I've lived in big cities. But here right now, it's fucking sick, man. Like, I can be walking back from the subway because there's no point getting a bus from the subway. It's too short. It's like 500 meters or something. And well, certainly even in the winter. And I will be able to walk past at the moment, especially with rush hour, like somewhere between 4 and 6:30. I can walk past 7 buses in that like 500 to 600 meter walk between the station and my apartment, or our apartment.
Yeah, that's
And they're all just stopped.
broken down there.
Yeah, well, it's like, if you got City Skylines or anything, the last City sort of building game you played, whatever it is, like, you look and you go, oh god, this is like those nightmare bits in those, but this is real. And then people get people, and they start doing like stupid shit because they're impatient, and that's like, oh god, this is just yeah, I think about the human zoo sometimes, and that's a particularly good example of like, you can just stand and watch stuff happen at a place like that.
Oh, look at this! I like this. Sports classics.
Oh, nice. I think I have one, but let's get the radio off. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, I've got my big tornado.
Ooh.
I'm bringing that bad boy. A big Cuban monstrosity.
Don't know what I've got to choose from. I guess probably the stock stuff, but it gives me a chance to decommissioned JB700, I guess. Coquette Classic, Casco, Z-Type. Ooh, did I just say that? Well, it's like you can't not say Lazy Boy, right? Because
I can't bet on you.
I haven't yet confirmed.
Oh, is that why?
Continue. Oh no, in the race with 2 people, you can't bet on each other. You can only bet on yourself.
Ah.
So if I was to win, I mean, I could bet 10,000 on myself, and that's why you don't do that kind of. You have to bet 100 against yourself. It would be nice because I'm kind of broke. So I bet 10 grand on myself. LOL. Because I could win. But you've got a custom thingy. So. Oh, that. I might stand a chance.
Yeah, this is a cruising car. This is not a car for winning races. But you know, I like driving in this car.
Yeah, I'm like that with some of mine. I don't really care about winning it when I'm driving them or going anywhere fast. It's just, this thing is fun.
Me and Rory were at a classic car show a while ago.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, go ahead.
They had some big American road wheels, pretty much like this, the old 50s, 60s convertibles.
Oh yeah,
And
like Lady Penelope. Oh no, that's not quite right. I'm thinking
not quite this pink.
I imagine there's not a huge number of Americans, men anyway, who would go for that colour.
You know, there's mainly
especially
red
in the
and
60s.
black, but they were stunning. They were gorgeous.
Yeah,
Really wanted one.
It's so funny because they're awful machines in terms of efficiency, but they're beautiful machines in terms of style and design. Like they're classic.
Oh hell
look.
yeah! I mean, I could only afford to run one if I didn't eat.
Yeah, hell, that would be the case with a car anyway for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
In fact, I hardly eat anyway, and I still can't afford to run a car. Oh man, I don't know if I've mentioned here. I don't know what insurance is like for you. You have a car, right?
Yeah, well, because I'm as old as I am, even though it's my first car, my insurance is pretty cheap. You know,
Well,
my insurance is on a par with my sister's, who's been driving for 10 years.
no, nice. And I guess you've got like no claims or anything, hopefully.
Yeah, well, so far, yeah. I mean,
That's
6
good.
months in.
Cross your fingers and that, but yeah. That was my cousin started driving, and then he bought a car, and he had an accident within the first few months, and he hasn't really gone into another car or gone back to it. I was like, you've got to go back to it. You've got to. If something like that happens, because it's when you're going to have. Well, it's when you're going to have something go wrong, like it's when you're a newer driver to start with, because it's just as you get used to driving more and more and more.
Well, I had a close shave
I had an
not long
accident,
ago.
by the way, and it wasn't even in the car that I, own or anything. So that was great.
Oh.
It wasn't bad. It was just the tiniest dent on another vehicle, but I almost did what I was saying my cousin, shouldn't do.
Yeah, I had a really close shave not that long ago, but it was We didn't actually have an accident initially, Clyde, but I was coming out of my street, which is a blind right turn into a main road.
Oh.
But,
Oh, and right
traffic
turns for
is
you are the nasty ones, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
My car just fell off the side. Sorry.
but it was traffic lights, it was, you know, my turn to go.
Your
It was
turn
a
to
green
go.
light.
Yeah.
But as I went out the street and started turning right, someone ran the red, coming down towards me, and stopped the car about 6 inches away from my driver's door.
Oof. Yeah.
So that was
let's see,
a bit
what have we got?
terrifying.
Anything you ever done?
I have not done touch base or flying colours.
I have done neither of those either, so.
Bike or plane? Well, I tell you what, I'll choose the plane and we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
that's a good way of doing it. Yeah, my thing was when it was really bad weather and I was driving so carefully. Like, I mean, you know, here it gets pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
What it was slush. It had snowed quite a bit, and then it was slightly warming up, and there was just slush everywhere. And coming up, almost got home, and then there was a car in front of me stopped at some lights, and I saw him plenty of time, and gently pumped the brakes, and still slid just a little bit too far, and just put a little tiny hole in their rear fender. And luckily nothing has come of it. After probably 6 months at this point, maybe. Ooh. I don't recognise these. Some of them, anyway.
Shamal.
Yeah.
Shamel.
Shaman.
Elm. Vestra.
A duster. Yeah, no thanks.
Ooh, the Luxor.
I'll just take that one because.
Oh, is that the gold one?
Yeah.
The Luxor Deluxe.
I'll just take that.
Hell yeah.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to bet this time. I was so surprised by that, I completely forgot what we were doing. He shrugs.
So, can we still jump in the back and sip champagne?
Only for a few seconds. Depending on how high you are, a little bit longer. I love the way in these you actually have to give yourself a few moments to parachute out because you've got to get to the door.
Yeah, I'm terrible at flying these.
You really would have to love the look of this to pay for it because I think they look crap.
Yeah, but
It's just bronzy looking and nothing special.
yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's not even about these ones. It's not even about flying them. It's about the sitting in the back and drinking the champagne. But if it's yours, how the hell are you going to drink your champagne?
I guess you can let someone else fly
for
it.
you?
Yeah. Here, look, send someone to mug me. I've got 10 grand on me, now fly my plane.
I'm going to miss it. Oh no, I missed it! Oh damn it. Respawn! Respawn!
Oh, ghost plane.
Oh man, look how far up, yeah.
Well, to be fair, this is kind of just fun for me, like easy money, like, oops, he says, crashing into the ground. It's so arcadey, it's like, just the perfect level of arcade. It's like, not ridiculous, it's just not too serious to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pylon. Oh, that was close.
So there's a stunt jump where you have to jump from that lighthouse onto the rock. And
Oh, really?
it's hard, especially if you're on your own, because you really, ideally, every time you fail it, you have to climb up the cliffs and then go get another car,
Oh,
because it's going to be stuck in the water when you fail it,
yeah.
and you don't want to use your own vehicle, so you don't want to call your mechanic to get it. And besides, you can only call your mechanic every 4 minutes or something. So basically, yeah, you want someone else to be getting the car for you to try again if you fail. Shit, did I go right past that? That's a weird one. What the hell? I'm not going the wrong way, okay. I'm flying a gold dildo. So, what more do you need? I can't find the checkpoint. Shut up, wrong way, I don't care.
That was almost a crash.
I'm only going the wrong way in your mind. By your rules. That was a crash, thank you. I did not commit suicide. I died. Like, if I was going to commit suicide, I'd do it better than that.
I'm going to commit suicide.
Yay! See, if you were going to commit suicide, let's at least say it's got to be a deliberate act. I mean, otherwise it's just, tragic accident or some shit, or stupidity or whatever. But I mean, if you're going to get all literary and intellectual about it, suicide is the question: to be or not to be. Or Camus, whatever.
I'm not a fan of suicide. I mean, not that I've tried it or anything.
No, me
You know?
either. I'm like, and especially having suffered from depression at one point, not being able to get that idea out of my head, despite knowing I wasn't going to do it, but not going to get it out of my head. Spending 72 hours in a ward on my own volition. It's something that I can understand why people end up doing it, and it's something that. But I would try anything to help someone, unless I thought there was a genuine, like. It's until the point where it's like, basically it's euthanasia. At that point, assisted suicide, that kind of thing. I have a different opinion on that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, if it's because of people's circumstances, especially because generally speaking, most people have very little control over their circumstances, then I would wish to be able to reach out to anybody in that situation if I could.
There was something I read that really chimed with me about Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
It was, somebody saying, don't treat it as a tragedy, treat it as a fucking celebration. That he managed to beat depression every single day for as long as he did.
That is a good way of putting it. Yeah.
And that, I just thought, no, that's exactly how I feel, and you've put that in words for me. Thank you very much. Because
that is a great way. That helps actually. That helps me. Because I mean, really, every day is like that for me. I take antidepressants every day, and I wouldn't want to forget to take them. I did once a couple of weeks ago, I think, but that's the first time in ages, and it's unusual. And it's like I've accepted at this point it's something I'm going to live with, and maybe I won't have to one day, but I'd rather accept and try to live with it than think it's going to just one day go away and then hope for that. But it's something that so many people...
I forgot it was the A button.
Yeah, same. So many people don't even have the same kind of resources or the same privileges that I do as someone who suffers from depression. Like, I was reading a book about depression recently, and it was fascinating.
I'm down the hill.
Me too. That's going to be a hold wide job there. Extreme biking.
Should have picked a BMX. I
didn't think about it. I thought, I'll use the racing bike.
Yeah, that'll be faster. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like using the fast motorcycles and the off-road ones as well. You're like, I'm going to win. Oh, wait a minute. First corner. But deep subject. But it's something that I think about. How some people say depression is rich people's or middle class kind of rich people thing. And I'm like, you know what? They're the people. They're the people who like me, or who people who are better off, who get to actually experience it as depression, as opposed to something is wrong. Or like, I'm never going to get to this next checkpoint. I have to slow down a bit. Who even have an understanding that there is something that you can call this, that there is maybe something that can be done perhaps about this, that it isn't necessarily one's fault, that it isn't something you should just get over, that it is something that people should talk about to some extent at least. And the different cultures as well. This book, if you're interested in this stuff, the book I read was really amazing. It was called The Noonday Demon, an Atlas of Depression, by a guy called Andrew Solomon. And it really, like, there were some amazing anecdotal stories, and just some stuff I thought was a bit but it was really worth reading. And he sort of looked at different cultures and the way that they experience depression, so to speak. He looked at the Inuit and the way that they don't talk about their feelings, because they can't in general, because they live like basically the way they live is a depressing way to live. For 6 months of the year or more, these people basically share this little tiny hut, this little ice hut they've made. They don't go outside except for the men for short periods of time sometimes to try and get more food, but they've basically living off like the stuff that they got the rest of the year, and they have this extended family in one room for 6 months. You cannot have social disruption. It's just not done. Yeah, it does. And yet it doesn't mean that they don't suffer from depression. They don't have it, and it's not an issue. In fact, their rate of suicide is like about the highest in the world. Anyway, what a surprise, right?
Same in Scandinavian countries.
Very similar. Yeah. Well, and this is even tougher because they don't have things that we use to get by. Like, they don't have anything like to distract them.
Boat race?
Yeah, sure, mate. I'm just enjoying doing stuff again. It's brilliant. Yeah. But so it was fascinating. He was talking about this group of 3 elder women in this tiny community where, like, everybody knows everybody. It's about 50 people, and that's like 10 family units or something, if that. And yet these 3 women started to realise that they needed to find a way to talk about some of this stuff somehow, because it was a huge pain in their community that they didn't know how to deal with. And so it was interesting because he was talking about how they didn't have words, really. They didn't have ideas about, like, they had to find ways to talk about these things without actually talking about them. And then these women would have the other women in particular come to visit them in their, like, clinic, so to speak. But then outside of that, nobody ever talks about it again. It's just like you don't ever talk about it with these women outside of it. It's just like
it's for this one place and time. Yeah,
and even that is like an amazing change for their culture, because they like it's a bit of a myth to some extent that, like, where the Inuit have these different words for snow and stuff. Well, they do, but it's not any different from the way we have different words for things too. But it is sort of true that culturally, if you don't have words for things, or ways of, words for describing certain concepts, even if it's not like a single word or anything like that, but phrases and things, then it is very difficult to think about and then talk about those concepts. And so because that culture does not share feelings, it cannot share, it doesn't have words for sharing feelings, there is almost no sense of I in those communities.
Well, it's all just about the community.
Yeah, there is literally almost no sense of like I feel bad, because it's become inherent in that way of life that you cannot. If you were to think about your emotions too much, you would die. You would just die, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be able to keep going. I mean, even when they can go out and hunt and stuff, it's mostly it's freezing conditions and relatively what we might describe as, say, primitive ways of doing things. So, yeah, it's a fascinating way of life. Even though these people are starting to use things like skidoos and sometimes GPS in this as well, there's a lot of the most remote communities that still basically. This was in Greenland, I think, actually, not necessarily. But it's weird when I think about that kind of side of things. And then just he has a whole chapter on the indigent depressed as well. Indigent being sort of a term for permanently poor. Here, I haven't got In the Grove. I haven't got Plain to See. I've
only done Orange Race, so.
In the Grove.
Planes or cars?
You do planes if you want. Okay, whatever. I do like driving cars.
I think it'll actually, because there's only two of us, it'll default to whatever I select if I'm coming up as host.
Yeah.
So. And I prefer the car races to the plane races, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I quite like planes and flying them, but the races are a bit, you've got to do this, and I'm like, right. I prefer messing around with those things for the most part in a game like this.
Yeah, I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. I've struggled with depression for a long time, but I've always been able to control it myself. I was offered medication when I was a teenager, but I refused it, and I've never taken antidepressants. I've always managed to get by without them. Things might have been better if I'd taken them. I don't know. I might have got over the out of the troughs quicker and back into the peaks without it. I've just, it's just been a sort of personal decision not to go that route.
I totally, everybody is individual, and it doesn't mean because you haven't that you never would, for instance, and it doesn't mean that because you haven't that you think you're better than somebody who has, or any of that. It's oops, or that you're, in some way your depression wasn't as bad as somebody who has ended up taking them and still suffers even, blah blah blah. I think. I mean, I take a very philosophical approach to a lot of this stuff, but then that's because I don't know. As I guess a relatively intellectual kind of person, that's how I approach things I don't understand, and I still don't quite. We don't understand how the human mind works, and suffering is generally speaking the result of human minds not operating in the ways we would perhaps hope they would. Let's say, whether it's individually, one's own brain causing suffering, or someone else's brain that doesn't recognize someone else's suffering, or something like this. And I don't know. I think you maybe heard me mention Albert Camus just now. I don't know if you know of him. He was a philosopher during the middle of the last century, existentialist, and he said some interesting things that he basically, his philosophy was to do with the idea that everything is absurd, and that we create meaning out of the absurdity, and that, so to speak, is a meaning for life, a meaning for being, a reason for being. And I can sympathise, and I can not just sympathise but empathise with that. I don't, I'm an atheist and all this kind of stuff. I don't think there's inherent meaning in the world, but the human brain desires meaning, generally speaking.
Yeah, need structure.
Yeah.
We are inherently...
The world is not inherently designed for us. Yeah. But the world was never designed for us, but we for centuries, or millennia, we've treated it almost as if it was, and
Yeah,
it's
the whole
easy to
divine
feel
right
like that.
thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
which is fascinating in itself. Like, we talk about history, and we mostly talk about recorded history, but we know a lot about what we used to be like before we could record what we did. Now, let's see what else we got. Commute. I haven't done Against the Grain.
I haven't done any of these.
Okay, I'm going to do Against the Grain then. Because I've done all of them except Flying Low, which is an air race. I can smell supper cooking as well, so I think I've probably got about 10-15 minutes or something. But blimey, time flies when you're enjoying yourself and chatting about something you find interesting with someone who's capable of chatting about it on that kind of level.
Oh well, that's because I've not finished this bottle of wine, mate. But hey.
Well, no, sometimes that's exactly how it works, right? Like,
Totally.
you start off 100% coherent, but not in the intellectual place you'd actually like to be, and then you gradually work through to a place where you're slightly less coherent, but more intellectually satisfied with your position, and then gradually you think you're completely satisfied with your position, but you're actually totally incoherent.
There's a reason why some of the world's best thinkers were, always liked a bit of the drink or a bit of the smoke or a bit of something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you see, it's funny how many people know about Aldous Huxley and Brave New World, but they don't know anything much more about him. They don't know that, the Doors, the groups. Did you come off? I just ran into the back of you and fell off.
No.
The group Doors.
I managed to stay on.
Named after, I think it was a book or essays by Aldous Huxley called The Doors of Perception. He coined the term psychedelic.
Oh, really?
Yep. See if I can remember the quote. There's something about hell and heaven, heights angelic. Just take a pinch of psychedelic is the second part anyway. And he wrote this in a letter to a friend, and the friend, he and his friend were both trying lots of psychedelic stuff and documenting and literarily exploring their experiences. And basically he was a big advocate of psychedelic experiences. The other thing people often don't know about him is that he wrote a parallel book, so where Brave New World is a dystopia. 5 minutes. That's what I was guessing at. Cool. Thank you. So where Brave New World is a dystopia, he wrote a book called Island just a little later, and that is effectively a vision of a potential utopia.
All right. Okay.
And in the same way that you can actually imagine, and these days we can see elements of Brave New World potentially, right?
Yeah.
Same with 1984. I remember Cypher once on Lost saying, we have to watch out. One day it would be like 1984. I'm like, what? One day it might be like 1984. Look, by 1984 it was already quite, gone past that. It was already like 1984 in 1948 when George Orwell wrote that, and before then. It's just become easier and easier to see how his vision of the future has become integrated into our reality now. Permanent war. Anyway, so I've got to go in a second, so I'll finish the idea about Island. Island is in the way that Brave New World is a plausible dystopia. Island is at least vaguely plausible utopia, which is weird because generally speaking, of course, utopias are not plausible. It's an idealistic, nice concept. But what he's aiming for is, well, how would you bring about? What sort of conditions would inspire, let's say, create utopic, general sort of conditions? So there's no perfect world he's trying to create, but he's trying to make a society in which, and it's because it's called Island. It's a small island community in the Polynesian area or something. It's a fake place, but it's. I found I was recommended by my uncle, who was a drama teacher, I think, and just he gave me the copy and took it away, and I did read it, and I found that much more interesting than Brave New World. So yeah, it was a fascinating read, and so yeah, I just think that people don't know a lot about Aldous Huxley, but I think was a fascinating character. Most people have just heard of Brave New World, I expect.
Yeah, it's a book I've never actually read, Brave New World.
It's I read it maybe when I was a bit too young, but I remember it. It just because I don't remember it as I should reread it probably. It's quite short. I would understand better now how its themes are relevant, rather than seeing it as kind of trying to see it as some kind of science fiction maybe, and trying to understand it as like, well, I can't remember how old it was. It wasn't very old, probably about 10 or 12, I think. In fact, this reminded me of another thing I read when I was relatively young by George Orwell, Down and Out in Paris and London, and that's not again a book that a lot of people have heard of. You know, George Orwell, 1984, Animal Farm, right? But
yeah, aye.
That was autobiographical.
The rest of the bibliography.
I don't know if you would have heard of it, but it was an amazing read. Relevant to you as well would probably be The Road to Wigan Pier, which is less of a. It's not fictional. It's basically a factual book about. He interviewed and spent time living with the families of northerners, working class northerners, trying to understand what their life was like. And I don't know if you know, but I mean, he came from an extremely privileged background. He went to Eton. Oh, I was just going to order one of my cars, I guess.
I know. I was wondering what that red helicopter was. I thought it might be, right. The target.
Is it not?
Target aircraft that sometimes appear, but there's nothing in the menu. So it might just
I
be
can't
a player.
see it. Oh yeah, it is a player. Yeah, that's it. I think a very naughty player. So the Road to Wigan Pier is fascinating because what a twat. God, some drivers. No consideration for the rest of the people using the road. Mentioning no names because I don't know the guy in that car's name. So he came from a very privileged background. He went to Eton, but when he left Eton, he didn't go to university. He deliberately dropped out of privileged society, gave away all his possessions, everything he had, and went to work and survive in Paris in a working class life.
All right.
And then after a while he moved to London in a similar situation, and tried to survive just as a writer. And so the book Down and Out in Paris and London isn't actually an autobiography, but it's like
inspired by actual events.
Well, yeah, everything in it is basically true that happened to him. Yeah. It's just not him he's writing about. Yeah. So it makes it possible to be a bit more you use more literary techniques, perhaps, something like that. But it was an amazing read, and it's so inspirational because when you think, I went to a private school for a while. I didn't really get on with it, and yet he went to the private school in the world, really.
Yeah.
Couldn't been in a much more privileged position, and gave it all up. Literally gave it up. Everything. He cut himself off from it all, so he couldn't go back. And that to me is almost as incredible as cutting yourself off from the rest of the world and going sailing around it. Like I watched a talk by Dame Ellen MacArthur this morning. That sort of thing, It's like that bravery, to have that privilege. Okay, it's great you had it, but to have something like that and to give it up is probably harder than to know that other people have it and never to have it yourself. Because it's you've known it. Thanks, dude. Is this your apartment as well?
No.
Oh, you just know where I live. That's awesome. Yeah. I shall just hop into my garage. Thank you very much.
No bother.
The best taxi service in the fucking world. Yeah. You can have the best fucking conversations for some taxi drivers, but they're few and far between. Yeah, I'm on my way down. Just logging out now. Okay. Yeah, I'd best go then.
No worries, man.
But that's been great. And I find that really, it's cool how we can just drive around and talk about shit like almost as if we're driving in the same car. Something suddenly important is going on. Like if you're in a real car, you suddenly, you switch modes. Anyway, it's Ralph now, mate, and
no worries.
catch you again soon, hopefully.
We should be on tomorrow at some point, but I think Gecko's wanting to have a board. He's just got